push by Democrats to flip a Republican seat in Congress fell short in Tennessee. Republican Matt Van Epps won that special election. It was seen as a local referendum on the president's first year in office. Nicole Valdez is in Nashville with all the latest on this story. Nicole, good morning to you.
Good morning. A big win for Republican Matt Van Epps in a district that has historically been red, but this time around the election was surprisingly competitive. The first-time GOP candidate won last night by single digits over Afton Bain, a Democratic state representative here. This result is much closer than what we saw play out a year ago when President Trump scored a 22-point victory here. It's the reason Democratic officials now say Republicans should be, quote, shaking in their boots.
Sad regardless. No reason to deny it. Even though she closed a 22-point gap, still sad. And I got a lot of thoughts on this issue. I'm going to get into it in a second. Your desktop is showing please have mercy. Oh, this? Okay, chatter, fucking calm down. You know, it's not the end of the world if you see my desktop. Yeah, from 22 to 9 points. Pretty good.
Ahead of next year's midterms. The tight margins led to a massive amount of money pouring into both campaigns. In fact, a CBS News analysis found at least $8 million was spent on the race, with more than $6 million donated by outside groups. Van Epps received more than $1 million from President Trump's super PAC, and support for his campaign surged after getting the president's endorsement back in October. Now, Van Epps last night said that Trump's endorsement, quote, made all the difference. He will be finishing out the term of retired former Representative Mark Green, but will have to run for re-election again in 2026.
Look, I think they're relieved and Democrats are encouraged. They're relieved that they didn't lose a seat, but I would not if I were advising the Republicans, and I'm sure
that election could have been won if it didn't become a nationally significant campaign. By the time I got around to it, the Republicans had already decided that this was a nationally significant campaign. When you look at Zoran's election in Tennessee special, it looks like Trump was really able to activate the Republican base vote when he intervened in these specials. I don't think we can ever count on that happening again. Like, as much as I love shitting on Matt Iglesias, I don't think he's wrong about this necessarily. I think he's wrong to shift the blame over to like liberals who were excited about the race. But yeah, this could have been a low turnout, sneaky ass win for Afton Bain, but the Republicans saw how close the polls were and freaked out. And I think that's the reason why the results turned out the way that they did. It sucks, but it's the truth. And Matt Iglesias sucks, but he's not entirely wrong.
Well, we're getting our first look at the Pentagon watchdog report on the so-called SignalGate scandal. The news breaking right now. Sources telling us the Pentagon's Inspector General found that Secretary Pete Hegseth risked exposing classified information that could have endangered U.S. troops when he discussed a planned military strike in Yemen on the Signal app. Our senior Pentagon reporter, Louis Martinez, has been able to confirm this. What more are we learning, Louis?
Kira, the official report does not come out until tomorrow, but two sources familiar with the report confirmed to ABC News.
It's not, again, it's the OG one, I think.
What you just said, that they concluded that Secretary Hegseth risked U.S. military personnel by exposing what was classified information that was classified by U.S. Central Command about an upcoming military strike against Yemen. He shared that information on the messaging app Signal, and he also included, as part of that group chat,
nothing more sobering than American news.
His family, other close aides, and then unknowingly a reporter for The Atlantic, who then made the situation public. Now, the Inspector General concluded that the information that Hegseth had put on Signal was so sensitive that it risked American lives if it got out, and it also said that it could have. It also said that Hegseth declined to be interviewed in person for the report. One of the things that he did do is that he did provide them with a statement where he said that he has the power to classify and declassify information, and that he was well within his rights to have done so. But at the same time, he also insisted that to the Inspector General that the information that was placed in the chat by him was not sensitive and that would not have put troops at risk. And that is something that the Inspector General rejected outright.
All right. We'll wait to see the actual report. Louis Martinez, thank you.
We're going to turn now to Washington and a cabinet meeting that lasted for more than 2 hours, where news was made on a number of issues, namely that controversial missile strike. Nancy Cordes is at the White House for us. Nancy, good morning to you.
Tony, good morning. This cabinet meeting was notable because it was the first chance that reporters had to ask Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth about that controversial follow-up strike on a suspected drug boat, a strike that some lawmakers are calling a war crime.
I watched that first strike live.
Sitting directly to the president's left, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said he was no longer in the room on September 2nd when a Navy admiral ordered a...
They're having such a long and convoluted back and forth on this issue when it is obviously a fucking war crime, whether it was Pete Hegseth that said, yes, do it, or it was anyone else. The very fact that they shot the first time was already enough of a war crime. Dual strikes or double tapping just simply makes it irredeemable and impossible to argue against. It's so stupid. Also, you might think I drank and I'm doing political commentary, except Pete Hegseth drinks all the time and then facilitates war crimes. So I'd rather be drinking and doing political commentary rather than drinking and being the Secretary of Defense, now known as the Secretary of Offense or the Secretary of War. Wait, now I'm seeing the fucking clip. Wait, he just muted it? Wait.
Yeah, please. I don't have my phone with me. Can we just
use
a screen photo?
Here.
Yeah. Right. Free Kaya. Free Kaya.
Oh my God, he muted it?
Jesus.
He muted me saying, nice to meet you? Bro, that's so sad. It's just like, just show that he like came up to me and you know, celebrate it in and of itself. Why did you have to mute the part where I literally go, hey, nice to meet you, man?
Just screen photo? Here. Yeah. Right. Free Kaya. Free Kaya. Nice to meet you, man. I don't have my phone with me.
That is so funny. Yes, and everyone in every place you can think of copy pasted that. That is hilarious. They're like, no, I promise you he was really upset. I promise you he was so upset. Also, just randomly, the stream silences itself in this moment. Yeah, I said, nice to meet you. And he goes, yeah, you too. To make you look ashamed and embarrassed and stuff.
I'll tell you what, the power of social media. Nuts. I'm a bit blown away that people are coming out to say hello to you. Well, it's great. Like, it's deadly, you know. It's brilliant. Part of the world is happening.
Yeah. Why did he keep the rest of it? This is how it was posted on Reddit, to be fair. I thought stream audio lagged. Man, your ops are the dumbest people. No, they're not. My ops are not the dumbest people. They're just very cynical. Also, I can't believe he posted this a fucking hour ago. Like, this just happened. That means he is psychotically obsessed. Meanwhile, when Ethan goes outside, he starts yelling from the river to the sea, a phrase he considers anti-Semitic when someone asks him to. Yeah. Yeah, this is the guy who's like terrified of going outside because he thinks someone's going to assassinate him, by the way. God, these guys are so fucking lame. Not even the guy who came up to me, for the record. The guy who came up to me, I mean, sure, you could say he's a pussy because he hid his face or hid the photo, whatever. It's a troll, right? But at least he's like not so much of a pussy that he's out and about, like in the real world, right? But many of these online content creators are genuine, ginormous pussies. Like, they are afraid of their fans. They're afraid of their haters. They're afraid of going out in the fucking real world. At least that guy is out in the real world, you know? But the fact that these giant pussies who can't even go outside, who are scared of their own fucking shadow and behave as though they would be killed if they actually interacted with someone and that interaction was like maybe a little uncomfortable. It's just really funny that like those guys will then go to this length to fucking edit a video to mute the part where like I'm having a normal and cordial conversation with this person and he's actually responding positively. It's just hyper obsessive freak shit. And I think it's sad that like people don't even realize that this is freak shit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who just kind of lean into this in the content creator side. And I don't think they would appreciate it if the roles were reversed. Anyway, let's get back to Pete Hegseth
strike
and Donald Trump attacking Vuvuzela.
Suspected drug boat.
A couple of hours later, I learned that that commander had made which he had the complete authority to do. And by the way, Admiral Bradley made the correct decision to ultimately sink the boat and eliminate the threat.
The first strike reportedly killed 9 people, and the second killed the final 2 who were clinging to debris. That is the part that has many in Congress outraged.
I think there's a broad consensus that it's illegal to kill people who are clinging to wreckage.
Let me be very clear. Killing shipwreck survivors is a war crime.
In the cabinet meeting, Trump stood by Hegseth.
Pete has done an amazing job.
But he also set off Democratic alarm bells with this comment.
I want those boats taken out. And if we have to, we'll attack on land also, just like we attack on sea.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said that would require an act of Congress first.
If Trump were to order an attack on land, that would be an act of war, and Congress would invoke the War Powers Act.
The more than 2-hour cabinet meeting touched on a variety of topics, from inflation.
The word affordability is a con job.
To immigration.
We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
The president stoking a new controversy with these comments about people who came to the U.S. from the African nation of Somalia.
I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country.
He's been talking about Somalis ever since a story broke last week about a fraud ring in Minnesota, which has the nation's highest concentration of Somali Americans. A U.S. official tells CBS News that ICE is now planning to surge resources to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area to crack down on individuals there with deportation orders. Gail?
All right, Nancy, thank you.
The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief...
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also saying...
I wouldn't be proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, you know, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Waltz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country. And all they do is complain, complain, complain. You have her. She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with, go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution. All she does is complain about this country. Without this country, she would not be in very good shape. She probably wouldn't be alive right now. So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth. I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon. I hope. But what the Somali...
Bro, this fucking anti-Somalia shit is so vile, is so racist. They need to really dial this shit back. I think it's I don't think this is going anywhere good. I mean, it's just straightforward Islamophobic, anti-black Nazi shit. I don't know how we even do commentary around it because it's like so straight up. It is so straightforward. Like, how can we do how can we do any commentary on it? He just keeps saying Somali people are garbage. It's getting extra gross and extra scary in the United States of America. I don't like that the president is entertaining this kind of language, this kind of rhetoric, and consistently targeting a population of Black, African, Muslim people living on U.S. soil like this. There's not really too much analysis you can do in circumstances like this because it's just like straight up racist. It's just, he just keeps saying a bunch of Black Muslim people are gross, disgusting, barbaric, monster garbage people. How am I supposed to sit here and be like, oh, here's what he actually means or whatever? It's just, there's no way to talk about this other than just being like, this is the most racist, this is the most vile racist rhetoric I've ever heard from a fucking president out and about. Or at least in my lifetime, you know? Yeah, it's also ironic because Minneapolis is one of the nicest places in the United States of America, one of the happiest places. Minneapolis is on the up and up, so how do you even entertain this shit? I'm so confused. He cries about complaining, but all he does is complain. That's literally how he got elected. Yeah, but he's white, and he's an American citizen, as in he's been an American citizen for at least 2 generations. You know, like his parents were American citizens, so it's different than someone who's a first generation. It's not, by the way. The point is that Donald Trump has had his roots in the United States of America for far shorter than the average brown person, really, including Somali people here, right? But because he's white, he gets to just fucking chirp like this, I guess. I don't know. It's so fucking gross, man. It's so gross.
Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain.
Congresswoman, how do you respond to that?
Well, thank you, Anna, for having me. I would say the president's obsession with me and the Somali community is really unhealthy. It's creepy. And I hope that he gets the help that he needs. It sounds like he is trying to deflect from the failures that he's had as president. His immigration rates are not going in the way that he's expected. We know that the tariffs are not working to make life affordable for Americans. We know that he is afraid of what is in the Epstein files as he's fought to be the head of the pedophile protection party. And we know that right now he is being investigated for war crimes that he might have committed when he ordered what seems to be illegal attacks against boats in the Caribbean.
Your district has the largest population of Somali immigrants in the U.S., around 80,000 in the state of Minnesota. This isn't the first time the president has made derogatory comments about your community. Last week, he threatened to end temporary protected status for Somali immigrants in the state. He alleged without evidence Somali gangs are terrorizing the state. In his first term, he called the Somali resettlement in the state a disaster. Why do you think he's so focused on this community, and what impact does that kind of racist and dehumanizing language have?
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after Black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a Black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming, and we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
I agree. I love the Twin Cities. I love visiting your home state as well, Minnesota. Lots of good people there. Beautiful part of the country. Are you getting any support from Republican colleagues on this? Are you seeing anyone from the president's own party stand up and say, this kind of rhetoric isn't okay?
No, and it is not.
Oh, God, that's so sad. That's so fucking crazy. As long as the right continues to defend things like the president calling entire immigrant groups garbage, they'll keep losing on immigration. Most Americans don't like that kind of talk or the views associated with it, irrespective of their views on immigration. Yeah. Wanye says, one of the weirder things for me about the recent immigration debate is that it revealed that liberals are absolutely dedicated and committed to third world migration to the West. It's not just something that they're okay with, should the majority of their neighbors agree, but something that they imagine is actually really important. They think we are defined by it. This is really weird. You could just not do third world immigration and the whole argument could be over. And then you could focus your efforts on whatever progressive commitments you have within the country. No, dude, it's because you're fucking obsessed with it. That's it. You're obsessed with it, dumbass. No one else thinks about it like this. Or most normal people don't think about it like this. It's you and racist people like yourself who look to immigration from developing countries and goes, this is so damaging. This is so devastating. Like, think about it this way. I was just in a cab and the dude's from Afghanistan. He's just a regular ass dude. Ain't nothing different. You know, do you think that it would be different if that person was from Norway? No, it's just another guy. But if your mentality automatically is, oh, no, it would be different if that Irish cab driver was actually from Norway, then you have to re-examine why you feel that way. When you incentivize your audience to go after people in the physical world that you don't personally like, eventually that's going to turn on you, okay? And that's not a good time for anybody. In any case, I'm sure he'll turn around after literally celebrating someone showing up and being like, oh, I thought it was just like a meme. I think so. I think it's a meme. I think it's ultimately harmless at this stage, right? But when you got fucking freaks like Roach Man being like, yeah, this is the clip of the year, you're telling your audience that they need to do more of it. Okay? You're telling your audience to fucking stalk my ass in the real world. That's not healthy. That's not healthy for me at all. And that's not healthy for you either. You're telling your audience that, you know, this is what they got to do to get fucking, you're telling your parasocial fans that they got to do stuff like this to get your attention, that you'll highlight them, that you'll give them praise. What are you fucking doing? This time it was fine. How do we know next time is going to be fine? How do we know that the previous instances that maybe weren't on camera were less fine than this one? There was a time and place when that kind of celebration would have been immediately banned, okay? Like, I cannot believe it. I'm one of the biggest content creators on the platform. Asmongold's one of the biggest content creators on the platform. A stream sniper shows up. Asmongold celebrates it. 4 years ago, Twitch would have instantly banned Asmongold. Like, no questions. Anyone who does shit like that, they would get banned. If I did that, I would get banned. Okay? Straight up. It's gone. We don't live in that world anymore. He's doing damage control on his stream so hard right now. Good. I think he should tell his audience not to do that.
Personal safety, I would not react to stream sniping clips of him because of that. Because I know that, like, I know what it's like to deal with stuff like this, right? And so, like, if he doesn't want me to, I would not do it, if you want me to be honest, right? Because I know how problematic it is. This, I think, might be the clip.
Motherfucker has never been speechless in all his life. Yeah, dumbass. I wasn't speechless here either. 3.5 thousand likes. Brother, it's muted. Think critically. I responded to the person. I said, nice to meet you. He responded back. They edited the clip. These people are so stupid. 120,000 views in 2 hours, Asmon. And it's the edited clip, too. It's not even me just going like, it's not even me going like, hey, nice to meet you, man. Not only is it, what do you say? What do you say? What do you say to this? It wasn't enough that some dude pulled up, but they had to literally edit it as though he like got one on me and I was like devastated by it or some shit. Like they fucking muted it.
Hey, free Kaya. Free Kaya.
And then they start playing music. Wait, wait.
Jesus, I'll tell you what, the power of...
Why would anybody do that? Why would you go to this length? Why would you go to this extent to literally mute the fucking VOD? This happened 3 hours ago, okay? This happened 3 hours ago. Guy shows up, it's fine. It's not like a big fucking deal at all.
They straight up edit the fucking VOD to make it seem like I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do here. And then it's already on Asmongold. It's on fucking Ethan Klein's. It's on Ethan Klein's Instagram. It's on fucking Tim Pool posts about it. Keith Richards or whatever, like not Keith Richards, I don't know. The fucking entire right-wing orbit posts about it instantly. And it's all the same edited clip. It is so incredibly coordinated. Well, it kind of backfired because looking at the picture, it just looks kind of dope. You should just lean into it, make it your PFB. These people are so weird. Yeah, I know. It's not what this guy did that's the problem. You understand that, right? Like the intent behind it is the major issue. The effort put into it is the problem. Okay? Yeah, whatever. He fucking pulled up with a photo of Kaya being electrocuted. It's a funny meme. I don't give a shit about that. Do you not understand? It's the fact that someone took that level of initiative and effort to find where I'm at when I'm obviously like unafraid to put my location out there to do that. A person that does that gets this level of immediate praise and celebration is going to create copycats. Content creators know that it's going to create copycats. And not only will it create copycats, it will create more dangerous copycats where people will constantly try to push the envelope. They will try to do something more impactful because this doesn't work, right? This is just regular harassment. It didn't work. It didn't like get a rise out of me or whatever. So next time they're going to do something different. Where will it end? Okay? That's the question. That's the issue. These people act as though I fucking incite violence, right? I'm inciting violence. This is directly an incitement for more violence, and it's also directly incitement for more violence that will come back to you inevitably as well. It's a really, really, really shitty thing to do if you're a content creator. And it's also very short-sighted for you to do as a content creator. Yeah, Destiny encourages audience to fucking stalk me in the past. It's happened before. That didn't stop me. I still go outside. Remember the I'm shaking guy at the DNC? The guy that came up to me at the DNC and was like, Destiny made you. It was like a fucking brief moment. It was a brief interaction. It didn't matter. Destiny literally retweeted the guy, celebrated his behavior in his community. And then that same Destiny also said someone should fucking kill me in the streets. Who's actually inciting violence now? I'm not saying that about Destiny or anyone for that matter. That one was cringe. What, you think this is not cringe? This is also cringe, but it doesn't matter. My point, of course, this is cringe too. I mean, he fucking wore a mask, like he was uncomfortable about what he was doing. It didn't actually get the intended outcome that he was looking for. Like, this is also great. It's very cringe to seek out someone that you despise with like that level of forethought. Okay. It's a very cringe thing to do. I'm never going to do that. You know, I don't think a healthy person does that. I mean, he literally went to like whatever the Irish equivalent of FedEx Kinko's is to go and get this printout. You know, that's a lot of fucking forethought put into this thing. It's a very cringe thing to do. It's a very creepy thing to do in general. Masking is good behavior. COVID still exists. You have to be the dumbest person on the planet, right? Like, you think this person is COVID conscious? You think that's why he's wearing a mask? What's the left tendency here? I swear to God, you could watch a fucking dude walk into a school with an AR-15 and kill a bunch of children, and I'd be like, oh, he's wearing a COVID mask to protect his identity, and you'd turn around and be like, actually, he's COVID conscious. Have you thought about the fact that he doesn't want to fucking spread disease? Yeah, what if the school shooter has long COVID? Are you okay?
David's that's outside toward the tourist city center. One of the reasons why we want to show you this is the impact is already being felt. This taqueria up here decided to close its doors because not only they're scared for their customers.
Yeah, they spent the last 3 months complaining about Charlie Kirk too.
They're scared that for their workers as well. And you see signs like this one. Everyone is welcome here except ICE. And then you see this right here. Do not have consent to enter this business unless they have a valid judicial warrant. So you see these signs from the community already out here. We'll show you this protest that we shot the other night. People making their voices heard throughout this city. They are concerned about the actions that could take place in the next 24 hours or so. On top of that, what they also have been telling people is almost treat this like COVID. Instead of going out for your day-to-day necessities, stay inside, shelter in place. The hope here is that they feel like they might be able to sort of outlast the actions here by Border Patrol. No one knows exactly where they're going to be over the first 24 hours, and that's something that has a lot of people concerned. We even talked to the mayor-elect, someone who hasn't taken office yet, about the actions that could be taking place in this great American city.
What they're seeing on TV and reports that they're seeing is not that Border Patrol is going after the most violent criminals. You know, that's not what they're seeing. What they're seeing is what appears to be racial profiling of brown people, and then going after these individuals and treating them like they are these significantly violent offenders.
Something to mention here, the mayor-elect hasn't taken office yet. That doesn't happen until January. She's the first Hispanic mayor in the city's history. But something that other folks are talking about, especially in the crime space, is the fact that people here in this state can carry guns. You don't have to have a license to carry concealed weapons here in this state. And they're concerned if somebody jumps out with a mask, could they be responded to with someone shooting because they were in fear of their life? So there's a conversation about keeping everyone safe, not only the Border Patrol agents, but obviously the people in these neighborhoods. You look at the crime numbers year to date, the numbers are actually down in terms of total crime and murders in the city of New Orleans. They feel like they have some positive motion when it comes to cracking down on crime. They are scared that this action will actually have some communities actually not calling 911. It's something that we'll see playing out over the next few days. We'll be here on the ground to check it all out. Kate?
Yeah, positive momentum on bringing down those crime statistics is also a theme amongst the cities that we've seen.
Yeah, just like in Chicago. Immigration officers were sent to Chicago to detain and deport violent offenders that DHS said were released from jails because of sanctuary policies. The agency said it arrested more than 4,000 people, but only about 120 of those have a criminal record. Incredible crime prevention. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So Trump hates all Somalis because like 40 dudes engaged in a fraud scheme, but he commutes the sentence of a zillionaire who defrauded thousands of people, kind of like him murdering random sailors while pardoning drug traffickers. Yeah. Commutation Trump issued to David Gentile wipes away all further fines and restitution. Gentile had been sentenced to 7 years for his role. Dude, I swear to God, he's doing a bit column A, bit column B. Where on the one hand, he's like all Somalis are doing fraud. And then the next day or the same day, he's like, actually, here's a white fraudster that I'm going to pardon. One day, he's like, Maduro is a narco trafficker. No evidence whatsoever for this, by the way. The next day, he's like, but this Honduran president who actually went to prison for literally shipping in 400 tons of cocaine to the United States of America, that guy we're pardoning. Art of the deal. He's doing Full Metal Alchemy. You know, there's a delicate balance that must be struck. If you are going to blame an entire group of people for engaging in fraud, what you must do is find one of the most high profile white fraudsters you can and instantly pardon them, just so people really understand what you're trying to do here. You're basically trying to say, I don't give a fuck about fraud. I just want to use the fraud to cast a shade of doubt on an entire population of people that I just want to remove from the American boundaries. Anyway, that's all I got for today. We did 7 hours. I'm so fucking tired. But tomorrow I'm going to be live early from Belfast. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to be live early from Belfast. We're going to have a long day tomorrow, okay? Get ready, get excited. We're doing a black cab tour, okay? For those of you who don't know what that is, we're going to be doing a black cab tour in Belfast, which is a very famous, it's like a famous concept from the Troubles for the IRA. And we have a very special tour guide, a very, very special tour guide
Okay. We're going to have a bunch of very special tour guides, but I do need to go to bed because we have to wake up early. But we'll go to the Peace Wall. Okay. But Billy Hanna, Mohara's dad, is going to be driving us around, giving us a midday black cab tour of the paramilitary history of Belfast. Okay? And then later in the day, I will have a desktop stream time as well after that, where I'll go through some news and stuff like that. And then at night, we'll be going out. At night, we're going to be going out with the boys, with the Kneecap Boys in Belfast, and drink a bunch of proper pints with the lads. Okay? I will be live tomorrow at 2 p.m. local time, which I believe is like 6 a.m. Pacific, and 9 a.m. Eastern time. Is Belfast far from Dublin? Not that far. But that is all I got for today, and get excited for tomorrow. Love you all, and I'm going to bed. Bye-bye.